and I'm going to just tell people a little bit, just kind of why I wanted to do this call, Kel, and then I figure for anyone who doesn't know you or know like your story, you can kind of give them your story and then go into the training. But the reason I wanted to do this call with you guys and with Kelly is because I know a lot of you guys work this business with a full-time job. Some of you are doing it while going to school. Some of you guys are doing it while doing both, which I can imagine can be a lot. And I think it really all comes down to time management and being willing to make sacrifices throughout your day and throughout your week that are going to allow you to put that time into your business and still stay consistent with it. And to be honest, the reason I wanted to do this call and the reason we called this training "You're Not Too Busy" is because Kelly truly is proof that you are not too busy to do this. And I just wanted to, for anyone who thinks they have too much on their plate, when I met Kelly, I'll let her tell most of her story, but she was working like 60 plus hours a week. I'm pretty sure you only had off on Sunday. Is that right?
Yeah.
It was like a struggle. I mean, she was very, very busy, and she is just about a year, into working this business. She's worked full time the whole time she's done it, and she's on her way to be associate market mentor, which is a huge leadership rank that's making an average of $2,500 a month. So she's doing this while doing it part time. Guys, that's a real decent amount of income to be making doing this part-time. She has a great team that she's a great leader for and that she shows up for despite being busy, which is really important as well, and she's going to touch on. And like I said, she's just proof that like you can do both. If you want to have more time, sometimes you have to make those sacrifices. But without further ado, Kel, why don't you tell people a little bit about your story, let them know what you were able to do with your job, which is really amazing, and then you can go into the training.
Sounds good. I have a quick PSA real quick. Rachel Zeldin just hit MMP, and I am like super excited. First time ever.
Rachel,
all right. I know. We will have to celebrate, but I wanted everyone to know.
Oh my God, I know she was so happy, or I know she was like so wanting that. So Rach, I am so happy for you.
Thank you.
5 minutes of you saying you needed 170 in volume. It literally happened. You just texted that like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you fucking go, Rach. Like, no excuses. You are amazing. You deserve that, girl. I'm happy for you.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, she called me like right before this. I'm like, yes, let's go.
Oh yeah, you're pumped to do this call. Oh my God, we have 18 girls on here.
I know. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, cool. All right. So my name's Kelly. For those of you that don't know me, I feel like everyone hopefully knows me. I don't know. I'm not that cool. Okay, so the beginning of my money journey, like Angie said, I was working a very, very, very demanding, 60 to 65 hours a week management job. And it was actually at that point, Angie, I was still commuting an hour each way. I was like working so far from my house. It was so stressful. It was honestly like killing me. It was negatively affecting my relationship. It was negatively affecting my friendships. I didn't see my family as much as I wanted to. Like I was just kind of like going through the motions of every single day, not really, I was passionless, if that's a word. I was like doing the work, eat, sleep, shower, repeat kind of thing. And I remember texting my mom, I was like, like there's gotta be more to life than doing this. Yes, I love to travel. I traveled whenever I could, but like I wasn't happy when I was home, I felt stuck. I felt depressed sometimes. I had zero confidence. And I just like needed a change, I feel like a lot of people can kind of relate to that. But, once I started this business, things slowly, day by day, month by month started changing. And I didn't really realize until just now, like how far I've actually come since then. Like I remember telling Angie in the beginning, I was like, yeah, like I love my job. Like I love hustling. I've always had multiple jobs my whole life. I love making money. I'm very like money driven, but I didn't realize like how unhappy I was until like I found money and started this. So Just like a couple like tips and tricks I'll kind of run through. I'll run through how I managed like my day pretty much when I was working crazy hours like that. And I'd be more than happy to like answer questions. Angie, I have the chat minimized, but like if you see questions, just let me know and I can try and like jump in and
Did
help.
you
So
touch on how you were able to take up less time at your job? Did you touch on that, or was I just completely scatterbrained?
oh, I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll touch on that.
Okay.
Okay, so when you get started, you have to set realistic goals for yourself for one, and you have to know why you're doing this. So when I started this, I honestly like had no goal. I was just like, I feel like I blacked out and just said yes to this opportunity and just figured it out later. Like I love the products, obviously. And at first I was like, okay, like I want to do this full time. I'm like, okay, that's not realistic to do in a month. I'm not gonna like talk money, but I was making a lot of freaking money at my other job. And I was like, I would have to be 3/4, halfway up the ranks to quit my full-time job and be comfortable. Like I was making, unrealistic goals, and it was messing with my brain and messing with my business. So sit back, focus on like the day to day and the now and where you're at now, and then your business will take off from there. So, just I worked consistently. I did what I could every single day. I wish I could have done more, but you have to work with what you got. You can't compare yourself to other people. And I started to slowly realize like month 1 changed my mindset. Month 2, I got my first paycheck. Yes, it took me like almost a month to get my first VIP. My first paycheck was $18. Like I will never forget that. Month 3, I started to find a little confidence. What'd you say?
I said you're on track to be making 2,500.
Yeah, it's crazy. So month 3, I found a little confidence, and that pushed me a little bit further in my business. Month 4, I got my first bonus check, and I started to see the vision of what this company could do for my future and for my life. Months 5, 6, 7, I just straight hustled like every damn day. And I finally believed that I deserved more out of life. And guess what? I went out and did it. Like I just went out and did it. And month 8, I was able to quit my job at my old company. And I found a job where I only work 40 hours a week. It's home-based. I have a flexible schedule, flexible hours. Like, hello, time freedom. Like, that's amazing. I never really saw that in my future. I never really believed I could do that until, like, month 4, month 5, when I started to believe in myself and believe that I deserved more, Again, like this isn't an overnight fix, guys. Like this is a journey. And then months 9, 10, and 11 with this new job, I have so much more time to actually work on my own business and help others to do the same. I love my girls. And I've been able to do more, team trainings, calls, that sort of thing. And then here I am about to enter month 12 next month. Me and Angie were just talking about this. I'm going to be at Monations for my 1-year anniversary with the business. And like, it's crazy to even just imagine like what is going to happen over the next like 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Like I get chills thinking about it. And we say this all the time, but like the only way that you're going to fail at this is if you give up on yourself and if you quit. Like there have been so many times where I'm like, Angie, I need you to punch me in the face. Like
She texted me that, guys, word for word, punch me in the face. She's like, I need it, help me. And like, that's why Kelly is where she's at. I just want to touch on that for a second, Kel. Like, there comes a point where like, you can throw yourself a pity party where you're like, I don't have as much time as everyone else. This sucks. Like, that's why I'm not where I want to be. And you can blame, and you're going to stay stuck. And Kel, you did it for a little while, right? It's normal to fall victim to like, wanting to blame your circumstances. But Kelly quickly realized that if she more so was like, you know what? Yeah, I don't have the most time, but I can like look at some personal accountability here and be like, but am I making the most use of the time that I do have? And am I being the most motivated for my team and showing up for them the best way I can when I do have that time? And she's always done those gut checks and been willing to look internally and even been like, Angie, like call me out on what I'm not doing right, or, how I can show up better. And she's done that even knowing that she doesn't have as much time as the next girl. She's never been a victim to that. So I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah. And like, guys, nothing's going to change unless you do. Like, looking back at this list almost a year, like in that first month, like I talked about earlier, that first month, my mindset changed, right? And if I never changed my mindset, I never would have got my first paycheck. If I never got my first paycheck, like I never would have continued with this to get my first bonus check. You know what I mean? So like, it's like a trickle down effect almost. And yeah, like I said before, like I wanted to give up like multiple times, but I didn't. Like even on your bad days, you need to be consistent with this. You need to be posting, you need to be reaching out to people, following up with existing customers. Like you'll get the hang of it. This isn't like something you're going to learn overnight, but if you give up, you're not going to get any further. And if you want this and need this as bad as you say you do, like you'll make it a priority. And then I have on here, I just have a couple of notes here. Angie was just talking about this in the beginning of the call, but you have to sacrifice things that others won't sacrifice so that you can have what others don't have and will never have, right? So if you're not willing to, you know, wake up an extra, you know, 10 minutes earlier to get your shit done, if you say you're so busy the rest of the 24 hours of the day, then do it, or else you're not gonna go up in this business. And I always say, like, anyone can do this, but not everyone can do this. Like, not everyone is cut out for this business. If you truly don't enjoy helping people, if you truly don't enjoy bettering yourself, like, maybe this isn't for you, and that's fine. Like, this is not for everyone. You know, but you signed up for a reason. I truly believe that. And you can run with this or you can do nothing with this. And it breaks my heart to see girls that do nothing with this, because it is such a huge opportunity and it has changed so many people's lives. Like, I think you guys, I've said this before, like I unfollowed a lot of money people because it was messing with my head, messing with my business, when I was comparing myself all the time. But I do follow like 2 or 3 like SEDs, like people that I look up to. Because it reminds me, like seeing their story just reminds me, like, okay, like they were once in a spot where I was, or, you know, and look at them now. Like, and it's just like motivation for me, you know? So you guys should definitely follow, and just keep up with, you know, people that inspire you on Instagram. Okay, so you have to build this into your life like you need it in order to survive, right? So, you know, wake up 15 minutes earlier to follow up with potentials or engage on Instagram. Do your personal development on the way to work or while showering. That's literally, guys, what I did when I was driving an hour each way to work. I don't care how long your commute is. If you live 5 minutes down the street, throw on a quick podcast or like your favorite song and just like pump yourself up for the day. So that was huge, and that's how I got my personal development done. While you're driving, listen to training videos. Like, I always listened to training videos, and I still will watch like a training video now at this point, probably almost every day, at least a couple times a week. And in the beginning of your business, I don't care if you think you watched all of them, you definitely didn't. You guys should be watching like 2 training videos every single day. And definitely brush up on your product knowledge like once a month. I still get kind of confused with products, and I've been doing this almost a year. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions on that stuff, or just retrain yourself, re-onboard yourself. That's super important too. While you're waiting for dinner to cook, work your business. Like, that's literally what I would do, guys. Like, I'd have like pasta and like a thing on the stove, and I'd be like following up with potentials and stuff like that in the group chat. Like, that's when I did my, you know, my work. Like, literally while you're taking a shit. Yeah, like everybody poops, work your business.
Literally, everyone has, I think we said this on a call once, everyone has a couple minutes in the morning, okay,
Yeah.
to get stuff done. I don't want to hear you don't at least have 5 minutes a day to follow up with potentials, because we all do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone poops. And you all have 5 minutes in the morning to be following up with people, point blank.
Exactly.
If that's all you can do, it's better than not showing up at all, right?
Yep, you're right. Okay, this is something that I've heard a lot recently. I know from my girls, at least. I don't know about everyone else, but people say that they hate creating content or they don't have time to create content. Okay, here's what you can do. You can either not create content at all and just show your fucking face and just talk. That is quick, easy, and effective. Or what I used to do is Sundays were my day off. So my boyfriend would be playing Xbox. Boring. I'm not going to sit there and just like watch him play Xbox. So I would create content. like for like an hour or two on Sunday and have it set up for the entire week, sometimes 2 weeks at a time. Like you guys, if you guys want to do this, you'll do it. Content. Okay. I had this long thing on content, but I'm not gonna get into it. If you guys need help with content, I think there's another training video on it. So just watch that. And don't be afraid to like explain to the people around you that you're gonna hustle for the next like 6 months. You might be a little bit absent. You need to focus on yourself, focus on your business. Set myself up for a successful future. And if they can't understand that, or you lose friends or lose family, because it will happen, guess what? They never belonged in your life in the first place. If they're not going to support you, you don't want those people in your life.
Hell, I remember how close you even told me at one point, like, and I deal with it with Zach, and I'm not saying it real loud because he's right downstairs, but I know that you dealt with it for a little while, even with Chris, where he was like, why are you always on your phone? Like, what are you doing? Like, when you first started doing this? And you have to be like, this is my business. It's a business. I have to show up every day. I'm serious about it. I'm passionate, and I'm going to be a little more, not like distant, but I'm going to be focused for the next however many months, because I have big goals here and I don't have time to waste. And if like Kelly, I'm sure you had that talk, and I'm sure obviously you're still here. I'm sure it went fine because he supports you and loves you. And like, that's the hard talk that you just need to, Josh has gotten so much more supportive as time comes. Yes, exactly. And it's really, they'll see it. Sometimes takes time for the people closest to you to see that like you're having that success, you're really passionate about this, and they'll see it over time and they'll become more supportive. But just always like, don't be afraid to have that hard conversation where you're like, exactly what Kelly said, I'm serious about this. I'm really passionate about what I'm doing right now. And like, I'm going to be focusing on this really hard for the next 6 months, because I have really, really big goals.
Exactly. Yeah. If they truly do love and support you, then they'll be there for you. They might be a little like iffy about it at first, like Chris definitely was, but now he goes to the bars with this hat on all the time. Like, he fucking loves money. Seriously.
Exactly.
Like, once he saw like one of my more recent bonus checks was like almost $1,000, and we took a trip to Boston that we literally planned within a week before we left, and I paid for it with my bonus check. Like,
tell people how many trips you have gone on and then have planned since this.
Oh my God.
It's like over 10.
Where have I been? I have been like everywhere and back. I've been to Clearwater, Jamaica, Boston, and then we're going to Ohio. I've been to Detroit. That was another work trip, but I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to Green Bay. We're going to St. Thomas over Christmas. We're going to Jamaica again in January.
Fucking traveled more than I have in my entire life in the last 6 months, and like in the next 6 months. Like, I'm sure that Monat hasn't paid for all of it, but with that extra couple thousand coming in a month, I'm sure that's taken off some of the stress to go and do that stuff, right?
Definitely. Yeah. And guys, without money, I never would have been able to leave my other job. Like, I was making very good money at my other job, and I was terrified to ever leave there because I was like, nothing else will ever, bring me this income. But the money that I was making with money every month made up for the difference when I took a pay cut and went to this new job. So I don't know, that it's done so much for me. It's done so much for other people. And like, I'm only MMB, guys. Like, I am like not stopping here. That's for damn sure. One more thing too, because this I feel like is big for all of our girls, all of you guys, is team calls. So I missed a lot of team calls when I worked at my other job. I missed a ton of team calls, but you know what I didn't do? I didn't say in the chat, oh, I can't make it because of this. Like, we don't want to hear those excuses. If you can't make it, don't go on. Right. I'm not going to force you to be on a call.
And don't apologize to your upline. Do not come to me and say, I'm sorry, I can't make it on the call tonight. I have work. That sucks for your business. I hate to put it so harshly. That sucks for your business that you can't show up for the call that's going to grow your business and going to be free knowledge. So do something about it. Get the recording. If there's not a recording, there's probably another training of the thousands in main attractions that you can find. Never once did Kelly text me and say, it just sucks. I'm like not where I want to be because I can't ever hop on these training calls. You know, it's like, what was I supposed to do? Give her more time? You know, like, what is your upline supposed to do? You have to take it on yourself to be like, I'm going to watch a training. I'm going to get the notes from someone. I'm going to go watch a different training to make sure I at least get one done today.
Exactly. Yeah, we can't force you guys to get on, and quite honestly, we don't care what excuse you have. I mean, we all have our own lives that we're living. Like, there was the call last night. I'll be honest, I didn't hop on because I was fucking wasted at the bar, like enjoying my weekend because I worked so hard this month. Like, we all deserve a night out. I get it. Like, we all go to dinners with our friends. We all get our nails done. Like, I don't care, but like, text a buddy and get the notes. Like, or, you know, I don't know, watch another training video like Angie said.
Yep.
But yeah, we don't want to hear your excuses. That's all. Okay, so just a couple more points here. You guys know exactly what you need to be doing every single day for your business. We train you the first, 30, 60, 90 days. You know what you need to be doing, the 5 non-negotiables. So get it done. Get it done in the nooks and crannies of your day. I feel like you don't have to reorganize your life to fit this business in. Like, just fit this business into your day. Like I explained before, like, get up 15 minutes earlier, do it while you're, like, listen to training videos while you're in the car. Like, you can fit this into your life. And if you seriously are struggling with that, like, ask your upline for help or ask me for help, because it's totally doable. It's not sacrifice, it's replacement. Exactly.
Like, replacing, like, you don't have to sacrifice time in your day if you only have, like, if you work like all day. Like, I know some of you guys work, and like between work and school, you're like gone like 12 hours a day, and then you're like home, eat, sleep, that's it. I get it. So if you don't have time to like add to your day, then replace time. Instead of doing Netflix for 30 minutes at the end of the day, do a training call. Instead of doing music on the way to work, do personal development. There's definitely just little replacements you can make in your schedule to fit this stuff in, but you're maybe not utilizing the time that you do have and the way that you could be to be successful here.
Exactly. And we say this all the time, but network marketing is a self-development business that comes with a paycheck. So if you're not working on yourself, guys, you're not going to get far with this business. And we can tell who does personal development and who doesn't because of your attitudes and,
a mile away.
Yeah. So PSA. But I'll be honest, like in the beginning of my business, I didn't really do personal development. I thought it was stupid. I was like, what's this going to do for me? I don't need to listen to a podcast. I'm a positive person. Okay, yeah, I was a positive person, but like I still doubted myself. I didn't believe in myself. I got shook when people told me no. I would like almost be in tears if someone returned their products or didn't like them.
I used to freak out when people would, like, a VIP would cancel. Like, trust me, guys, she's come a long way. We've all been there. And like, I used to do the same thing. You don't think I've ever texted Tori? And like we've all been there, but we did that personal development work, and that's why I don't recognize who Kelly was when she started. Kelly always tells me, I don't recognize you as a leader that since I've joined you. Like, it's because we've dove into that personal development. You don't get that just from doing your non-negotiables every day.
Exactly. And I feel like it's hard for some of you guys to get into personal development. It was hard for me. It's trial and error. Find what you like. If we send something in the chat that you don't vibe with, like, that's fine. Like, I don't really vibe with Angie Lee. Like, I vibe with like MFCEO. Like, I need like someone to scream at me. But like, not everyone's like that.
So it totally depends.
Yeah. So find what you like. And there's so many different forms of personal development too. It doesn't have to be a podcast. If you just wake up and go to the gym and focus on yourself for a little bit each day, like, that's good. Just find out what gets your mind right in the morning. And start there. And that's what's going to help you. And then the last point, which we kind of touched on a little bit already, but again, like, you're going to lose people in your life when you work this business, but they never were supportive of you in the beginning. And, there's a lot of people out there that, they might not buy the products from you right away. They might not, want to work the business with you right away. It's because they want to see you fail. They don't think you're going to stick with this. Like, a lot of people, it sucks that people aren't supportive, but like, if you stick with this for like a full year, you're going to have people start to come around like, wow, I can't believe she's still doing that. You still do that hair stuff? Like, yeah, and I fucking love it. It's awesome. Products are great. Business is great. Like, sometimes it just takes people a little bit of time, you know, to believe you and trust you, you know? It's not going to happen overnight. But if you're busting your ass and proving them wrong, people are going to start to come around. I had a girl recently, she was like, wow, like, I've been watching you since October. When did she message me this? This was probably like a month or two ago. She's like, I've been watching you since October. Can you tell me more about these products? I'm like, really? You've been watching me since October? But
and you'll get that a lot, guys. Like Kelly joined me, I think we talked shortly after I joined the business for the first time. I joined in April of last year. We talked a month or two after. I remember exactly you reaching out to me, and it was about the business. And back about the products like 2 months later.
I ghosted Angie for like 6 months. Like, I left her on red.
Yes, and then got the products, and then we like went back and forth for even more until she signed up for the business. So like, and this is one of my top girls in the whole fucking business right here, who ghosted me for like the longest time and basically told me, almost told me straight up, like, I don't think this is for me, right? Like, I don't think I could, or I forget what you said, but something along the lines of like, oh, I've just never done something like that. Like, I don't know if it's really for me. And I, like, to be honest, thought it was a hard no. So when you guys tell me like, oh, I don't think this person's interested or no one's interested, it's like, no, they haven't come around yet. You know, almost every girl on this call is someone who either has signed up with me directly or with someone else, and it's not the first time. I've done potential calls with a lot of you, and I know it's been a planting seed type thing that got you to come around, so just always remember that with your prospects.
Yeah, I think about that every single time I'm talking to a prospect. I'm like, I ghosted Angie for 6 months. I'm like, why do I think this girl's going to sign up with me right now the first time I talk to her? Like, it's not going to happen. You have to remember that, guys. Like, it takes a while to, like, build that trust. Like, so many of you guys, like, you know, come to your leaders and you're like, oh, man, I'm trying to hit this rank. I need 2 more market partners. We got a week left in the month. Okay, well, who are your potentials? Have we gotten them on a call yet? No, I don't have any. Okay, well, there's your problem. You're not just going to go find a cold market girl and sign her up on the 31st. I mean, that'd be cool, maybe, but
the chances are slim to none.
Yeah.
Be real.
Very, very, very slim. That's pretty much all I had for you guys. Do you have questions? Like, I'd be more than happy to answer questions if
you guys definitely take advantage of Kel while she's on here. She's busy. If you have any time management questions, anything, we'll answer like 1 to 3 good questions that will help everyone if you guys want to drop them in the chat. While we wait for that, I did just want to say, like, this is just proof, like I said at the very beginning of the call, that it's not about, cool, Ray, share that in the chat and I will have Kelly answer it for you. Thank you for kicking it off. It's just proof that, like, I always say this, don't say you don't have the time, say it's just not a priority to me right now, and see how that feels. If that doesn't feel good to say, it's just not a priority for me to make time for personal development, or it's just not a priority for me to find 30 minutes in my day to fit this business in, well, then that's a totally different story. Tell me, or tell your upline it's not a priority, and we'll get off your ass. But everyone's on this call because you tell us it's a priority, whether you're full-time or part-time. And the bottom line is, Jacqueline said this one time, part-time's 20 hours a week, 15 to 20 hours a week, dedicating that time, not making excuses, fitting it in when you can, and not working it, you know, here and there as a hobby. So Rach asked a question, Kel, if you want to answer it.
Do your priorities or non-negotiables grow or change as you rank up? So no. So like, even Sarah Hill has the same non-negotiables that we have. Like, this business is not complicated, guys. It's very, very simple. It's literally just a matter of staying consistent. And I know some of you guys probably don't believe me, but yeah, you just have to be consistent every single damn day.
I say this to my girls all the time, the same thing. That's why I tell people don't believe me. I always say, like, when girls hit MMP, I think they think I'm hyping them up. I'm like, you just hit the most important rank in the whole business. And they're like, MMP? Like, what? And I'm like, no, literally, because everything you just did to hit MMP is a duplicatable process that you're going to use all the way up to SED. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're not creating new non-negotiables to do. The only thing that I would say that has to change is the shift into leadership when you get to be like higher up in the business. So maybe you would add to your priorities or non-negotiables. Like instead of just having those 5, you might have running team calls and doing one-on-ones with your team and hosting events and doing bigger and, more involved things with your business and with your team. But those 5 things will carry you to SED. So if you master the monotonous day-to-day 5 non-negotiables that no one on this fucking call feels like doing, trust me, myself included, and I know not everyone on here is doing those every day. But if you master those 5 things that probably a lot of you are like, oh, stupid, personal development, I don't have to show up on every call. Like it's I don't need to make time for that. I can just catch the next one. If you just master doing those 5 things consistently, you would probably be where you wanted to be already. You would fucking be there already. If you just mastered the easy task. This is not a hard business. People make it hard because they're not willing to be consistent enough to see results. The tasks are easy. Showing up every single day and doing them over and over and over and over again is what's hard and what people usually find trouble with. MMP or MMB? MMP, Rachel. So your very first rank. Yeah. Your very first rank is the most important one because everything you did there, you hit MMP. Now, if all the way like up to MMB even, you can skip a few ranks. All you have to do is teach your girls to get to MMP. And then when you're at MMB, you're teaching your girls to get to MMB so that you can get to the next rank. And it basically is a very duplicatable process, but you're always going to use those 5 non-negotiables every single day. So does anyone else have another question? Anything? Time management, how to, consistency, anything for Kel? Rachel said Kelly.
I don't know why she said Kelly. Hi, Rach.
Okay, Kel, I guess I will ask you because I have a question that I think maybe everyone will benefit from. Oh, someone asked, how do you keep yourself motivated to work from home?
Okay, so with my job now, I'm home. Well, my regular job, I'm home based, so I'm on the road most of the days, but like this is like my office in here. And honestly, like find like a space in your house that you can stay focused. Like we have like an office in here. I can't show you because it's on my computer, but like this is like our office. Like I have like a bright pink couch over there. Like I'll work from there. That's comfy. I have my like goal board up here on the back. What's it called? Dream board, vision board. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I have that up there. I just have like, it's cozy. Like I got like a cute little desk from Walmart. It was like $30. I got a comfy chair.
Environment's important. It's really, really important. Like if you have like, I notice like if I just sit like on my couch or like don't really have like an area set up for where I'm gonna work, I'm not productive. I'll like lay there, I'll like just sit with my dogs, I'll like get distracted, put the TV on and watch Netflix. If I like go up into the spare bedroom where we have like an office set up and I sit the computer down on my desk, I will work consistently for a few hours, you know what I mean, without getting up and actually be focused versus, and I think that's like exactly what you're saying, just like having that area where you're like, okay, when I sit down in this room or when I sit down here, I know it's like work time, I feel productive, it's a nice clean space where I feel like I can get a lot done, and you'll probably be more productive than just like laying in bed or like laying on the couch like I wish I could just do. But
yeah, like it's always nice to be, I think it's like a benefit that you can do this anywhere, so it is good. Like if you have to work somewhere, you can. Like I work from my bed sometimes, I go to Starbucks sometimes, like Angie and I've done that. But yeah, like if I'm gonna sit down and like do a power hour for myself, like I need to be like focused in my chair at my desk. But I guess it's different for everyone. Sometimes I like to switch it up. I'll like go sit at the kitchen table and I'll go too far. Yeah. But yeah. But you had a question, Angie?
Yeah, so my last question I just wanted to ask, just to give people like a realistic idea based off what I was talking about in terms of like what part-time dedication here looks like. Like, will you touch on, hold on, Stephanie had a question. when you feel like Fiona from Shameless, everyone and their mother needing you and feeling yanked every which way, what is the first best step to finally have a minute to yourself? Kelly, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I feel like you can touch on this too. So you can't spread yourself too thin. You're gonna like evaporate, literally. Like it is not good. Like this is why, personal development is so big. You need to take that time in the morning to like for yourself. So what is the best first step when you finally have a minute to yourself? So what do you mean to like focus on your business, like your personal business? What is the best first step when
Yeah,
you
I know. I was a little confused. I think she's asking, to be honest, I think she's asking like people in her life pulling her, like they need her. If that is what you're asking, Steph, if I'm right, let me know.
You can unmute yourself too if you want.
Oh yeah, like being pulled in different directions. My best advice, and I was actually just talking to Kelly about this earlier, is setting very clear boundaries. And this can be even with your team or the people in your life. This really goes for both. Like if you're feeling spread too thin, there's a conversation that needs to be had that you've been avoiding. You need to let people know you're only one person. And if it's people in your life who you feel like are pulling you in a different direction and you don't like have time to like dedicate to this business, again, it goes back to letting them know this is a priority for you and that you are going to be focused on it. And if you're asking like what's the best first step in terms of like getting work done, I mean, get your non-negotiables done. If that's all you can do in a day, do that like in an hour. Do a power hour to yourself. Anything you can do. And also take, like Kelly said, a little bit of me time. I always like, if I have you know, like the way I like to start my day is really with personal development. So like if you only have a little bit of me time, start it with that. Make sure you're pouring into yourself as much as, you're giving to all these other people in your life, because otherwise you're going to continue to feel spread thin. But Cal, my last question real quick, and just to go into like, just to close and give people a little bit of a push to maybe show up here a little bit more consistently, like what would you say with working this part-time, how many hours, realistically, you can be honest, would you say you put in a week or like a day? I know it probably varies.
Yeah, it definitely varies, and that's tough to say because I feel like it's like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. You know what I mean? I would say probably like an hour a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot less, to be honest. Like I really don't do that much. I feel like it's
exactly. And that's why I'm saying like a lot of you guys, I feel like who are very busy will tell me that you don't have the time to even do the bare minimum. And I'm like, you don't have 5 minutes here and there throughout your day to dedicate an hour. And there are a lot of girls like in this business who I have seen. I'm in a leadership chat with Sam Gomes downline, and there are so many girls in that chat who I know work this business. They have told me they work it 1 hour a day and they're making 4 to 5 figures a month. Okay, doing this part-time. So when you tell me that you don't even have 5 minutes here and there, think to yourself, would I suddenly be able to find the time if I knew that it could bring me this much, income a month, even doing this part-time, just to like find that time? You know what I mean? You have to realize, I think sometimes people don't want to find the time because they think like, they're so focused on the lack. They're like, I don't have as much time as the next girl, so I'm not even going to see success here anyway. Well, there's someone with less time than you, who works more hours than you, who's at a higher rank than you, just because they were willing to show up more. And that doesn't mean it's not available for you. That means you can be right there with them, but you can't be a victim to the things that you lack. You have to kind of use that as fuel. I think that's a good thing to leave it on. That's exactly what Kelly did. Instead of using the fact that when she joined me, she was burnt out, working 65 hours a week, had one day off. She could have easily used every excuse in the book and said, I don't have the time, and been a victim to her circumstances, but she wanted more time. And she knew that that meant making the sacrifices and continuing to show up, even when she felt like she didn't have the time. And guess what? She was able to create more time for herself. So I just think that's a really good thing to leave it on. A lot of times those short-term sacrifices turn out into very, very big long-term wins. So Kel, thank you for doing this with me. You were frozen for a second, but you're unfrozen.
Was I? Yeah, I thought you were. Uh-oh.
We probably the connection, or yeah, maybe my connection, but thank you so much for doing this for me or with me. For
Of
the
course.
you guys pop in the chat and hype Kelly up because she was amazing and so fucking inspiring on this call. Kel, the best call you've ever done.
Oh, thanks.
You slayed it. So inspiring. And guys, like, just let her be proof. Realize that she's no different than you. If she can do it, if she can make the time, if she can make it work with all that she had going on, and if she was able to find that freedom and, find more time in her life through doing this, you can do it too. Even with your circumstances, even with what you have on your plate, you can fucking do it too. We are no different than you. Kelly's no different than you. And we're here cheering you on. So guys, I'm super, super hyped. Let's finish off the end of the month really, really strong. I have this speaking at Mon Nations one day. I can't wait to see you guys SCD. Oh, Mackenzie, I love you. And you know what? I can't fucking wait for that for us too, Kel, because if we don't believe it for us, then how do we expect to ever get there? Like, we will be there together one day, and so will all of you on this call. If you believe that you can do it, if you believe that you can find the success here, I don't care if you have 5 minutes a day, you can fucking do it. Okay, so let's all finish off this month strong. Rachel, congrats again on MMP. You are a queen. We are all very proud of you and cheering you on. We're all so happy for you. And everyone else, I love you all. Hope everyone has a great rest of their night, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.